What's good, everybody? You are watching a brand new episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks with me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and my co-host, Rebellious D. How are you doing today, bro?
Hey, man, I'm here, ready to go, Banks.
Yo, so let's go ahead and get into this episode. But before we get into the episode, please make sure that you like this video and you subscribe to the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks channel, so that way that you can always keep up to date with the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks crew. And also make sure that you hit that bell, so that way whenever we upload a new video, you'll always be up to date with us. So D, let's go ahead and get into today's topic. Wandavison, episode 5. And woo, bro, I was at the gym watching this, and like I've had many people tell me that I need to watch this. Like I've seen nothing but good things about it on social media. When I went on Twitter earlier, I saw that it was trending, and I was just like, okay, I need to make sure that I watch Wandavison. And I'm at the gym tonight, I'm watching it, and my jaw dropped once we got to the end of the episode, which we're going to save for later on because woo. But yeah, let's start right at the beginning, where now we're in the 80s. Wanda and Vision, they have the kids now, and they're still babies. And then their neighbor, Agnes, she comes over. She helps out with the babies. And what was weird about it was something had happened, and like Agnes was like, do you want to take it back from the top? And Vision was just like, oh, what do you mean? You know what I'm saying? And Wanda and Vision and Agnes, it was kind of like a dead spot where it's like, okay, well, what are we supposed to do next? And then the laugh track came back after I can't remember if it was Agnes or Wanda who had said something, but the laugh track came back and everything went back to normal. And when I saw this, I'm just like, okay, so Vision is starting to see stuff now. He's starting to become woke, which we see as the episode progresses. He's starting to question Wanda more. He wants answers, and he gets those answers as the episode goes. So D, when the episode started, like, how did you feel about seeing the transition now from the 70s to the 80s, and the whole thing with Agnes coming over and saying, hey, do you want to restart, or should we start from the top again? They was breaking the fourth wall pretty much.
Yeah, I love the episode overall, Banks. I think that it's doing what I thought it would do the whole time, which is progress and move forward. The walls, like you said, the fourth wall starting to break. I really like it because Vision, I'm wondering why he isn't under her control like everybody else. Now, did she reincarnate him? Is he still a figment of her imagination? Because he's pretty much, I think, going to be a tragic hero in a way for the show. Yeah. Like, he's going to help free everybody, but at his cost, you know? Because he's not under her control. He has the power to release people from her control. Yep. So it's very, very interesting.
Yeah, we saw that as the episode progressed. And one of the things that I loved about this episode was it finally became how I thought that the series was going to be from the jump. Where it's like now we're seeing what's going on in the TV show and what's going on in the real world. And in the real world, Monica, she's laid up in bed. She's recovering from her injuries from after what happened when Wanda pretty much shoved her out of the reality. And it's just interesting just seeing, because it's like now we're getting answers on what's going on in the real world. And we find out that some of the theories that we had when we first started these reviews, where it's like, you know, the reason why Wanda is like this is because she's in grief, because she lost her brother, she lost Vision, and I mean, even though it's not mentioned, she lost Cap, and you know, she pretty much doesn't have anybody. So I can understand why, you know, she's the way that she is right now, where she's unstable because she doesn't have anybody. And I just like that, you know, we're slowly and finally getting the answers that we wanted with this show. I know that it did have a slow burn. You know, like I said in previous reviews, I wasn't really feeling the first and second episodes. But by the time it got to the third episode, like, stuff was finally starting to pick up. And then episode 4 was amazing. This episode was amazing. And I just want to continue seeing like what's going to happen next, because it's like, bro, like I said, I dropped my jaw and like there were moments on this show where I started laughing, and I was just like, yo, like this show is it's getting so much better now. And something else that I wanted to touch on too was that the kids, how they were able to age rapidly. It's like they went from infants to being like, I want to say probably like 3 or 4. Like they were they were still children, and then once they found a dog and they were watching them in the same vision, it's like, okay, well, they can't have pets until they're 10 years old, and we saw them age jump again, which was crazy, man. Like the whole episode was just crazy, where it's like now Wanda, she wants to start using her powers now, because it's like pretty much nobody can do anything to her. So
yeah, I mean, she's ridiculous. Yeah. What's your question?
No, I was going to ask you. So, do you still think that we're going to get the whole Mephisto thing? Because I know that's a theory that a lot of people have. Do you see that possibly coming?
To be honest, I kind of see it a little differently. Just to jump around the episode a little bit, I know that Quicksilver, or Pietro, I'm going to call him like he's credited.
Yes.
I think that is just her, kind of like her imagination, if you will, or her manifesting him. I'm not sure how he got there, but he's credited as Pietro, not Pietro / Quicksilver.
Yes. Well,
so I'm paying attention to that especially. And then I kind of feel like the leader of Sword is going to end up being a villain. I could see that being like a Hydra infiltration kind of thing.
I can see that.
Just because of the way he was so for taking her out.
Yeah.
Very suspicious. So I'm not sure about the Mephisto thing, but I do know that's initially how her kids come to be. They're pieces of Mephisto.
Yeah.
They're soul shards is what they are. But I'm not sure where they're going with this. It's very interesting now that we're starting to see people break out of her control and see what exactly she's doing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like also we see when we're back in the real world, where the leader of Sword, he's pretty much showing everybody like the video footage of Wanda breaking in to one of the facilities and getting Vision's body. And we find out that, Wanda, because she's in grief and she's sad right now, she went against Vision's wishes, which were, don't use me as a weapon, and if I'm dead, I'm dead. But I can understand, because she loves Vision. It's like Vision was her world. You got to think about like the entire time that they spent together after Civil War. It's like they were on the run. And it's like I can understand. And then again, like I said, she lost her brother Pietro. And when we see him at the end of the episode, it's like we see the silver hair, and I'm just like, yo, this is Evan Peters. We're finally getting this. And he is Quicksilver.
Yeah.
But he's not her brother. I'm mad I can't remember the actor's last name, but I know his first name is Aaron.
Kick-Ass.
Yeah, from Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
I'm mad I can't remember his last name, but we see that it's Evan Peters, and now like we can put the whole multiverse theories to rest and everything. It's just somebody that's recast as her brother.
Well, the thing with that though, Banks, is where does she get? She recast him, and we know that she has a part coming up in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yes.
So that's not to say that she didn't pull him from another universe or whatnot.
I mean, I get that, and like that could be an interesting and good theory, but I don't know, man. I feel like that was just an Easter egg thrown in there, because us as fans, we know that in the Fox universe he was Quicksilver, and
of course.
It's like now we're seeing him in the MCU, and he's Quicksilver in the MCU. So I do hope that Evan Peters does reprise his role as Quicksilver from the Fox universe. I do hope that we eventually get that.
Yeah.
But I'm when I say jaw dropping, when I saw him on the screen, my jaw dropped in the gym, and like I was just filled with joy. Like I was looking around like to see if anybody was looking at me, and there were some people looking at me like I was crazy, but they just didn't understand, man.
They don't understand.
They don't understand, because it's like, bro, like we've been like, this is episode 5. Like our theories that we have had since episode 1, like they have slowly come true. You know, same thing like with, I believe it was on last week's episode where you had mentioned that had to be Vision. Like that was really Vision's body.
Yeah.
That's not something that she just manifested, which I thought. I just thought that it was something that it was all in her head, but no, it wasn't. Like it was actually Vision. She went and got his body. And I love how Vision, like I said, he's starting to become woke. And he wants to know, like, why don't I remember anything before we came in here? Why don't I remember anything? Like, what's going on? It's like he's getting all of these hints and these clues that are coming at him, and I can understand. And like, I was happy that, you know, he finally snapped at the end of the episode because, like we've seen in previous episodes, Wanda, whenever like stuff starts getting real, Wanda, she'll like snap her fingers and everything just feels like it's normal. But it's now like Vision is just like, no, like I want answers, because you see what she tried to do at the end of the episode where it's like she tried to have the credits scrolling.
Which was a very cool effect. Yeah, he was like, no, this show.
Like, no, like
special episode, man.
Yeah, I want my answers, man. And you know, again, too, going back to the outside world where Monica, she's trying to befriend Wanda. You know what I'm saying? Like she said, that they have that connection because, you know, she helped deliver the babies. It's not like she was just some random person. Like in this sitcom world, they were friends. How do you feel about everything that's going on in the outside world, where it's like now they're getting answers, they're trying to get into this town that has disappeared? Like, how do you feel about everything that's going on out there?
Well, to be honest, you know, you got Agent Wu, Monica, and Darcy, which I think are going to end up being kind of like her cavalry. You know, in the long run, they're backing her up. I think it may just come down to the leader of Sword, being just that kind of tyrant figure. You know, her mom established it, Monica's mom. So she passed away and this guy takes over, and it may just be one of those situations where he's like power hungry. You know, we got to eliminate her. She's a threat. It could just be that simple. But I think based on what Marvel has given us over the years, he could very well be a Hydra agent. We just don't. I mean, I don't rule that out. You know, that's
one of my theories that I had when we first watched episode 1 and 2, because of the Hydra commercials that were in the episodes. Like I said, Baron Strucker, he has kids, so I just have a feeling that that's what's going to happen. Also, too, I feel like the reason why she's going with the sitcom aspect, and this is something that we forgot to mention too, when they transitioned to the 80s, it was more like you had your Full House vibes, your Growing Pains vibes. Like I got those type of vibes from when they were in the 80s.
Of course.
I feel like the reason why she chose a sitcom over anything is because growing up, I feel like those were the things that she loved. I mean, like, take us for example. Like, we grew up, we watched sitcoms, we watched The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, we watched Martin. You know what I'm saying? Like, the list goes on of like Family Matters.
Yeah.
So many shows that you could think of, and when you think about it, it's like when you watch a sitcom, you're sitting down, you're either watching it by yourself or you're watching it with your family, and you're entertained. Like, it makes you happy. And I feel like that's the reason why she wanted to go with the sitcoms, because like these were things that she watched growing up, and whenever she watched them, they always brought joy to her. So, you know, what better place to go to, you know, a sitcom, the stuff that brought you joy. So, question for you.
Yes.
If you had Wanda's powers and you were in the sitcoms of your choosing, what sitcoms would you choose? Let's start with the 70s. Yeah, let's start with the 70s.
I mean, just based on the I Dream of Jeannie and Bewitched, some of the earlier ones that I remember seeing, I would have to go that way.
Okay.
Then you want 80s too?
Yeah, I want 70s, 80s, and 90s. We don't got to go into the 2000s, because I know a lot of shows started falling off in the 2000s.
I gotta think.
Okay, well, hey, look,
80s maybe. I think Step by Step was one that was from the late 80s.
that was the 90s.
Oh, that was 90s. Oof. I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Well, I can tell you right now, if I was in the 70s,
Yeah.
I would be on Good Times if I was
Yep.
in the 70s.
I like it.
if I'm in the 80s, I would be on Different Strokes.
Okay.
And if I was in the 90s, if I was in the 90s, I would be on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Could you imagine Vision coming in the door and saying, "That is dynamite"?
I can see it, man. Like, no. And so I would be Arnold. So Vision, I'd be like, "What you talking about, Vision?" And like that's exactly what I would do. And every time, man, I miss Different Strokes. Rest in peace, everybody.
Hey, great shows, man. You got to miss all of those. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we grew up with.
Exactly.
Now back to the commercial from this episode, Banks.
Yes.
Did you catch it or did you look it up?
No, I didn't look it up, but I meant to. So what is Lagos again?
That was the place where they blew the building up, I believe.
Ooh, okay.
From Civil War at the beginning.
I knew it sounded familiar. I just couldn't remember where it was from. And it's like you notice that you always get symbolism in these commercials. And remember, it's like, there was a spill, there was a mishap, and they used the paper towels to pick up the spill.
Yep, the blood being spilled.
Yeah, which is pretty much what happened in Lagos with Wanda, which they did mention in the real world when Agent Wu was talking about Wanda and talking about how she changed her life around. At first, she was with Hydra because of her parents being killed from weapons that Tony Stark had built, and her and her brother, they became refugees, and then they linked up with Hydra. Then they ended up getting experimented on so that way that they could get their powers. And then, like Agent Wu says, because of the outcome of everything that was going on with Ultron, they ended up gaining the Avengers' trust, and she ended up saving the world. And remember, too, they also make note of what happens in Endgame. Remember where that little Easter egg where they talk about how Wanda, she could have defeated Thanos, which she could have.
Yep.
But Thanos didn't, rain down all of the fire on him. And then you have Darcy mention Captain Marvel, and she was just
which was interesting.
Yeah, and then you see Monica, she was just like, I don't want to talk about that right now. So I was talking with my buddy Brad P. Thompson, who we've had on our podcast before, and he was saying that he's wondering when is Monica going to get her powers, and I told him it's not going to happen until Captain Marvel 2. She'll get her powers in Captain Marvel 2, and I think it'll be dope. Like I enjoy her and her role that she's been doing so far. I like the show. I really like the show.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no question, man.
I will say, our third co-host, Trav, he's not here with us tonight, but he had put up a post on Facebook earlier talking about, because there are some fans who have been saying that, you're not a true fan of watching stuff because, you're supposed to sit down and enjoy it for what it is. And Trav, he's just like, no, it's like, if the story isn't good, then I'm not going to enjoy it. So it's like, it's not just Trav that's saying this, because we've heard this from other people as well. So it's like the fandom is kind of split down the middle, where it's like, some people are enjoying it for what it is and they're getting the payoff that they wanted, whereas some people, it's like kind of like me, it's like I wasn't feeling it at first, but it's like now, it's like as the episodes progress, it's just like, okay, like this is what I wanted and I'm enjoying it. So I don't have anything bad to say about it, but like, how do you feel about that, D? Like, how do you feel about the fandom and the direction that the show is going now?
I've said it. I'm pretty sure I've said it on our videos before. It's just, you have to take every project in for what it is. Like, this wasn't meant to be a straightforward action, show. That's not what it is. It's actually more of like a drama mystery kind of.
Yes.
and you just have to just pay attention to the details. They're giving you tons of Easter eggs each episode.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be positive about in the show, and just enjoy the ride and try and put the pieces together. I think what's fun about WandaVision is the ability to just let your mind wander and try and put the pieces of the puzzle together as you watch it episode for episode.
Yeah.
So it's something very good to watch. Outside of it is, it's not action.
Yeah.
So
I agree with you on that. I want to go ahead and wrap this thing up because I feel like we touched on everything, but it was one more thing that I wanted to bring up, and that was when Monica, when she had sent the drone into the sitcom world, and when she sent it in there, she was trying to get through to Wanda and just let her know, like, hey, you need to shut this down because you have thousands of innocent people in there and you're hurting them and you need to let them go. And then the leader of Sword, like you said, like he shot a missile at her. And Wanda
he sent it in with a missile.
Wanda comes to the real world and she's just like, hey, y'all need to leave me the F alone. I'm enjoying what I'm doing in here. And Monica's just like, well, it's just like, what can we do to, help you out? Like, what can we give you? And Wanda's just like, I have everything that I want in the world that I'm in, so y'all can't do anything for real.
Exactly.
So it's like, I just wanted to bring that up, and I feel like there was something else. When their dog Sparky dies, and it's like
Agnes has him.
Agnes has the dog. Now, do you think that Agnes killed the dog, or do you think that the dog really died, like it got hit by a car or something? Because like, how would the dog die? You know what I'm saying?
Well, she was saying that it ate the leaves off of it, and I take it, the leaves off the whatever bush that was. But there's tons of plants that dogs can't eat. But I think that the dog may have been created to send a message to Wanda. It's like when the dog pops up, Agnes, she just finds a way to come in as usual. Which, while we're on the topic of Agnes, I believe that she is a sorcerer in this universe. Because what's interesting about it is her and the other neighbor. Remember the guy who was cutting his bushes? They're not.
He wasn't cutting his bushes. He was cutting through a brick wall.
He was cutting his bushes initially, and he cut into the brick walls. What happened?
Yeah, okay.
But I didn't understand. That was really weird. But I don't think either one of them are under her control. Obviously, Agnes is definitely just playing along.
Yeah.
But to what degree? Like, why does she always keep popping up when she needs something? It's very interesting, and that's why I won't rule out other sorcerers or sorcery being involved.
That's a good theory. I don't know. I agree with you on there being some people in the world that are woke, and then you also got to remember too that there were some agents that were sent to that world as well. But at the same time, it's like they were affected by Wanda getting into their heads and whatnot. Like, as we see with the one dude that's been there and he's trying to call his sister, and Vision had to calm him down because like he was blowing up, so it's crazy. I can't wait to see next week's episode, and the way the time is going, man, it's like we're almost done with this because this is episode 5. And I believe Trav said it's only going to be 9 episodes, and after that, we're going to be on Falcon and Winter Soldier. So
now, before we close this thing out, I do definitely get the feeling that Agnes is working for or with Wanda, because
I don't know.
It's just like she knew about the lines. She was like, "Do you want to take it from the top at the beginning of the episode?"
Yeah.
And Wanda just kind of like. So
Wanda was kind of like, what happened?
Yeah, and then Vision's just like, he's seeing. So I'm curious, is Vision back now? Like, were those just war flashbacks when she saw his dead body? It's getting interesting, Banks. I can't wait.
Yeah, can't wait. I'm assuming next week will be in the 90s. And,
maybe. Maybe we'll get to see Vision throw an agent out of his front door like Jazzy Jeff.
Oh God, bro.
It can happen. Everybody. It's reality.
hell. Oh man. So with that being said, thank you everybody for checking out this review. Thank you everybody that stays with us every week when we drop new reviews for WandaVision. We hope that you've been enjoying them so far. Trav, we miss you. Sorry to
man.
Tonight,
the trash man.
The trash man. But we know you'll be back next week, Trav,
oh yeah.
So we're looking forward to it. Like I said, thank you everybody for checking us out. And before we roll out, D, tell them where they can find you at in social media land.
Hey, that's going to be rebellious _D23 at Instagram.com. Please make sure y'all check out the podcast below in the description.
Thank you.
Thanks. Take it away. No way.
And you can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Facebook by typing in Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Make sure that you follow all of the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks social media accounts at Leveling Up Banks. And if you're feeling generous and would love to donate to your boys, we have a Patreon at Leveling Up Banks. Make sure that you like this video. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel. And if you have any theories or anything that you want to talk about, go to the comments. I always respond to everything. So let's talk about something. And again, make sure that you hit that bell so that way that you're always notified on stuff that we have coming up. And this is Black History Month. And on the podcast, we are celebrating everything Black wrestlers, Black comic artists.
That's right.
Black directors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Black
that's
History
right.
Month. We showing the love here at Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And just make sure that you check out our videos. We have our interview with Dewan O'Neal that is on our channel right now. So go and check it out. And
check it out, people.
With that being said, we'll see you next week with another video for WandaVision. Be sure to also check out my review that's going to be coming up, Promise Neverland episode 5, which it might be up today. If not today, it will be up on Saturday.
That's it.
That's it.
Everybody stay safe.
Yes. We'll see you next time. Pinkies up. Peace.
Be sure to smash that like button if you enjoyed this video and get notified every time we upload a new one by subscribing and ticking the bell icon. You can also listen to the full episode by searching for Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks on your favorite podcast app. If you'd like to help support more great content like this, be sure to check us out on Patreon. We'll have the link posted in the description below. Thanks for listening, and see you on the next episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks.